Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Jay. Welcome back to my channel. So yeah, for this video, I'm going to go over each and every character in Tekken 7 and give my general thoughts. So I'm going to try to say something good for each character, unless I just can't. Yeah, this should be interesting. Let's start this. So, Kunimitsu. So I like this character design. I am kind of upset that they made this iteration of Kunimitsu the daughter rather than the mother. I think it would have been much more impactful if it was the mother. As far as her game plan, it's okay. I feel like she's a little bit overpowered. I think that she needs to be nerfed a lot. Not the biggest fan of all the trickery and teleportation stuff. It just bothers my eyes and it's really hard to tell what she's doing. But I would say overall, this is probably the I would say successful revamp of Kunimitsu. Not the biggest fan, but she's okay. I like her design, but I would rather have the mother rather than this new daughter. Gonryu, I like the design. He seems like he might be okay to play. Seems to be very unpopular. It's so sad because I feel like sumo wrestling is a like a really great fighting style to have in the game, but I don't know, he doesn't have a big fan base, and I think Harada even knows this, which is why he makes fun of it. So Zafina, interesting game design as far as her character, the colors, the look, game plan. I hate the game plan. I don't like this character. I don't want her back. Julia, so this is one of my mains. I love the character. Been in the game since Tekken 3. Really fun to play. Very strong, but still very technical and execution heavy. Yeah, I think she's a really great intermediate character. Marduk. So I do kind of like this character. It's really unfortunate because I feel like a lot of people don't like Marduk. I feel like he's not as popular as I would have thought. Like I'm actually thinking about picking him up as like my fourth character just to play just for fun, because I play the characters I play, Julia, she's good, but she can be quite execution heavy and tiring to play sometimes. And Ling and Lei, they are both really fun. They're probably my favorites to play, but they're very underpowered and very, I would say, bottom 10 on tier list. So I'm looking all this to say I want to play Marta just because I want someone that can deal some damage and it's kind of easy to play just for fun. I don't take him seriously, but I'm thinking about playing him. But it's really unfortunate that he's not as popular as I thought he was. I think he has a cool game plan. It's interesting, the MMA fighting style. The game design's okay. Big buff dude. As far as his controls, execution, I don't know too much. Yeah, I'm still trying to get into him, but it doesn't. He seems like he'll be fun. I would just say that the tackle thing is a bit cheap. Anna, so I like Anna. I like her new game design. I think she's the better of the Williams sisters, and I really wish that they would put more attention on her. I feel like she's more interesting, more charismatic compared to Nina. And yeah, I think she should definitely be in Tekken 8. Geese, I don't like this character at all. I don't think he belongs in Tekken. Eliza, I don't like this character at all. I don't think she belongs in Tekken. Noctis, I don't like this character at all. I don't think he belongs in Tekken. I would say no. Lei Wulong, this is like my favorite male character in the game. Very fun to play for me. I like the creative play. I'm not crazy about this new Tekken 7 design. It looks a little I would prefer him having more his like signature traditional martial artist design, where he wears like the little whatever you call it, and the pants and the house shoes or whatever. I prefer that. I don't like this new design, but I love Lei. Armor King is cool. I think this is his best game design. His game plan seems very interesting. Seems really fun to play. I don't know too much about him, but I do like Armor King. And I think of all DLC characters, he probably earned his spot the most to be in Tekken 8. Just numbers wise. Like, he seems very popular. Negan, this is probably the only guest character that I'm kind of okay with. I'm just sick of that damn Batman. That not Batman, the hero, but the Batman. Yeah, I don't like the Bat. I mean, I think the Bat is good. Honestly, the range he has crazy range with the Bat, which I don't like because that's not good when I'm playing as Xiao Yu. But I don't mind it, but I think they need to take a lot of that like armored or absorption out the Bat. That gets really fucking annoying. I don't like how he hits you with it and you can't move forward. I don't like that armored attack. It's just whatever you call it, power crush, whatever. I don't like it on his Bat. I think that's a bit overkill. Leroy, I like the design. The gameplay is very boring, very basic, but I mean it's good to have a Wing Chun character. Falcon Rom, I don't like the design. It's too much. It looks a little silly, little goofy, way too tall. I don't like all the tattoos. The Muay Thai fighting style I think is great to have in the game, but I would prefer Bruce over him. Lydia. It's like I get what they were trying to go for here. They're trying to, make a more rusty or rustic looking female character. They could have saved her for Tekken 8, to be honest. I don't know. I'm not in love with this character. I don't see how she fits in the game. She's from Poland, which is cool, I guess. I mean, I feel like with Tekken, I feel like, okay, it seems like I get, you want the game to be diverse. And I think Tekken already is very diverse. I mean, I would say, they probably could use a few more black characters, but I don't like this idea of just trying to make all these characters be from just a specific country just to say they're from this country, where it doesn't really add up into the story or doesn't really fit in the mode of Tekken. Like we do not need every single nationality of characters in this game. I think they've already done pretty good with that, with including all the different races. We have white characters, we got black characters, we got East Asian characters, Middle Eastern characters. We have white Hispanic characters like Miguel, indigenous Hispanic characters like King, because I'm assuming he's from Mexico, Afro-Latino characters like Eddie. I think the only race they might be missing or ethnicity is maybe a South Asian character. But my thing is, I don't, to put this all back into context, I don't see how this character just does not fit in the game at all to me. I don't see her relation. She's the prime minister of Poland in Tekken. And it's like, okay, but what is her personality supposed to be besides just being Polish prime minister? Like, she doesn't add anything to the game at all. It's just, and I really hope in Tekken 8 that they put a lot more effort in making the characters fit into the roster, because I feel like that's why Tekken 7 was so unsuccessful in having all their newcomers fit into the roster and be new fan favorites. Like, none of these new Tekken 7 characters are iconic. With the exception of maybe Leroy, just because the design was pretty fresh. And I guess you can kind of say Claudio because they forced him in the story. I mean, I feel like, he doesn't. It would be, the story would be the same or wouldn't really be much impacted much if he wasn't in it. But okay, but yeah, I'm not a fan of Lydia. Okay, so Master Raven. This character, I think I like that they have another ninja character in the game like Yoshimitsu. I think the Ravens do belong in Tekken. I don't have too much of a problem with her. I mean, it seems like a lot of people enjoy her. I personally I'm like I said earlier, I'm just not a fan of all the teleportation and all the blanket, all that flashiness. It just bothers my eyes and I can't tell what she's doing. But I mean, I think she fits in the game. I really hope that for Tekken 8 they could really develop her story a little bit more. Maybe, I don't know, maybe include Raven again. I don't know. I just feel like they need to do something with her story wise. Nina, so she's this like the badass assassin chick. Great character in the game, a little dull and boring for my taste. I wish they would also add more to her story and make her a little bit more interesting. And I think they should really highlight the feud between her and Anna again. Like, I think, that would be more interesting. I mean, but add some progression. Yoshimitsu, I would say, I mean, he's gonna be in every Tekken game regardless how I feel about him. He's okay. I like Yoshimitsu. I don't object to him much. I just hate playing against him. Dragunov. So I feel like this character has a really interesting fighting style. This is another one I was thinking about learning and just getting into, just to keep the game fresh. Because like when I play my mains, Julia, Xiaoyu, and Lei, they're fun, but sometimes the game get dull. So I'm always trying to experiment with new characters. And Dragunov was one of them. I don't like his game design though. It's kind of ugly in my opinion, and I hate that he doesn't talk. Like, make him feel more like Tekken. Wrong. So I would say this character is really unique, brings a lot to the game. Quite annoying to fight against, but the most rewarding to win against. I mean, I love beating the crap out of wrong players. Yeah, so his game design is pretty cool. I prefer, the Taekwondo red hair look, but they brought that back. I think he has one of the better Tekken 8 redesigns. Law, great character. I didn't object to him much until recently, where I feel like he just is basically a carbon copy of Bruce Lee design wise. Like, I think his game plan is really interesting. I like that they include his Jeet Kune Do into Tekken. I think that's really cool. But yeah, they could really, I wish he looked more unique design wise. And I didn't think about that recently until I noticed, because I'm only in the Tekken world, so I'm just like, this is just Law. But then I noticed, like in Street Fighter, there's another Jeet Kune Do fighter that looks just like Law. Like, it seems like it's not much creativity as far as his designs. Make him look more unique. I mean, I guess it's too late at this point. Shaheen, is he the most boring character? Yeah, the most boring character in Tekken 8. I mean, in Tekken 7. I don't think he needs to be in the game. Really doesn't have much of a personality. I mean, doesn't add anything to the game. Akuma does not belong in the game. Please go away. Kazuya, great character, very strong, a really great villain. I feel like very charismatic. I like the voice acting with him. I would say the same thing about Heihachi. Like, these two characters are really, I think they're really great icons for Tekken. Like, they have a unique look for what I know. I mean, from what I can tell, I guess. But I like these two characters. They really go all out with the voice acting with them. And their game plans are really like the iconic Tekken game plan, with like the fun, as far as fundamentals go, and just knowing when to whiff punish, electrics, just that stuff. They like really build the basis for Tekken. So these are the most Tekken-y characters. Kazumi, I don't like the whole tiger gimmick, and I wish they would have made her older. Lucky Chloe, I don't like this character at all. Hope she never comes back. Very annoying. Lily's okay. I like her game plan. It's cool to have gymnastics in the game plan. That's really interesting. She's quite charismatic. I mean, I think she belongs. Lars, kind of a boring game plan, to be honest. And of course, I don't like all the flashiness. I do not like playing against Lars. And the design of his game design is okay, in my opinion. It does look a little corny with the cape. A little corny, but I mean, it's okay. My main problem with this character is I feel like his combos are way too long, and it's like no matter what you're going to get on the wall, he takes way too damage for that. Xiaoyu, this is my one of my mains. This is my very first main in Tekken. I played her since Tekken 3. I love her game plan, obviously. This is a character that I know I can always go back to. I can always, I will forever feel comfortable playing as Xiaoyu. Iconic, somewhat unique. as far as the game design. Her game plan is very unique, but I'm talking about her game design. It's unique with the two ponytails, but it is somewhat similar to Chun-Li from Street Fighter, which they're a little different, but still, I mean, unique enough. Yeah, I love Xiaoyu. Jack, I like Jack. I like his design, I like his game plan. I feel like I wish they would go into his story a little bit more. I think he had one of the better stories. I would like to know what ended up happening to Jane from his Tekken 5 ending. I like Jack. Lee, I feel like this is one of the better designed characters. I love his charisma. I love his game plan. Very unique. Yeah, one of the better designed characters in my opinion. Just extremely hard to play and get used to. But I would say I'm always impressed when I see like super great Lee players because his execution's insane. I would say he probably has the hardest staples in the game. I was gonna say Steve, but it might be Lee. I don't know. It's really hard between those two. Bears, they're cute. They're cute. Miguel. I think out of the Tekken 6 characters, I feel like he has the best design. I love his animations. I like, how his fighting style is just more like, informal brawling. That's really cool to me. I just wish they would do something a little bit more with the character gameplay. It does seem a little boring and basic. Like I said, the animations are beautiful, like really nicely animated, but I don't know. I just feel his gameplay is lacking something. They should do something a little bit more interesting. But his design, I do like his design. It's like a more mature, look. I like Miguel. I think he's probably my favorite Tekken 6 newcomer. He's also really hard to fight against. I don't know what it is. I have so much trouble with this matchup. I would compare fighting against him similar to Brian. Like everything it just leaves you where you can't move. He does these moves, like a lot of his lows, you just can't move, and it's just like it just leaves you so much in negative, and it very hard to deal with. Bob, this is probably my second least favorite character from Tekken 6 after Zafina. She's my least favorite. Bob is very corny, very cheap, very just uninteresting. I don't like Bob. Brian's an awesome character, really great game plan, really great design, very charismatic with the maniacal laughter. Brian's awesome. I think he is definitely one of the better thought out characters in the game. Very, very technical, but can also be played very cheaply as well. Lord knows I have my Lei has so much trouble against Brian. I don't know. I mean, apparently, like worldwide stats, Brian is a favorable match for Lei, but not for my Lei. I have so much trouble with Brian. But yeah, I like Brian, one of the better characters. I love Kang, very iconic Tekken character. I love, everything about him. I do kind of wish they would. I think instead of Kunimitsu taking off her mask, I think Kang should have took his mask off, and he should have been the one that we can finally see like what's under there, But I love Kang. I love his game plan. Very interesting. He's someone I initially wanted to experiment with him instead of Marduk, and I still might in the future. It's just I feel like Marduk was just easier, and at this point in the game, I'd rather just learn something that's a little bit easier to get into. Kang has the most moves out of any character in the game, and there's a lot to take in. So yeah, I might save him for Tekken 8 to learn, but I think I'm going to learn Marduk in the meantime. But I love Kang. Very cool game plan, very cool design, very nice character. Steve, very well thought out character, one of the most unique. I think that he is probably he came out Tekken 4. He's probably the last Tekken character that was created that was just unique and just great. Because I felt like Tekken 5 has some cool newcomers too, but none of them really stand out the same way that Steve does. I feel like Steve really is iconic, and you can tell that they really put a lot of work into him. Like the Tekken 5 newcomers like Asuka, very boring to me, very simple game plan. Who else? Fang, he just seems like a virtual fighter character to me. He doesn't seem like he belongs to Tekken, in my opinion. Who else was in Tekken 5? Devil Jin, just like another Mishima, which is cool, but it's already been done before. So I think Steve is like really the last great character. He's the last character that I can say is just awesome. So yeah, because the Tekken 5 characters and the Tekken 6 and 7 characters are just not doing it for me. Paul, I like Paul. Love-hate relationship with this character. I feel like he's very overpowered with his damage, but somewhat balanced in that he does seem to be quite unsafe with a lot of things. And I mean, he's been in the game forever, so I'm pretty good with the matchup. But yeah, I like Paul. I really wish that they would, further develop him in martial law story a little bit more. That's my main thing. But I like Paul. Josie, very annoying, very lazy game plan. The quintessential example of a character who is just from a country just to be from a country and doesn't really add anything to the game. So her name is Josie Rizal, which is supposed to be similar to, I think, some president of the Philippines. And what color are the articles of the clothing that she wear? Oh, none other than the colors of the Filipino flag. I mean, what else is her personality besides being from the Philippines and a crybaby? She adds nothing to the game. She's not interesting to fight with. She's not likable. Very annoying to fight against. I don't like this character. Katarina. I actually like this character at first. I mean, she's nowhere near being a great iconic character, but I did like her at first just because, I don't know. I don't know why I liked her actually. She's very basic. I'm starting not to like her as much. Very, very lazy game plan. Yeah. Jin, I mean, we all know Jin is one of the most iconic characters in Tekken. Very fun to play as. Has some of the stylish combos in the game. I feel like he's one of the characters whose combos are really interesting and fun to watch. I would say his combos, Julia's combos. Who else has really cool combos that I like? Lee's combos. Anybody else I'm missing? Let's see. I would say Eddie's combos are pretty cool to watch. But anyway, yeah, Jin has some of the most coolest combos in the game. Very strong character. Quite overpowered. I would say he's probably, like, all of the guest characters aside, I would say he's at least top 3 in the game. But he is balanced out in that he's very hard to play against, and that's because of his execution, as well as his complexity and his honesty. So I think having characters, like some characters be stronger than others, make for a more interesting game. But I don't think it should be overblown. And I think he's a good example of how having an overpowered character that's hard to fight against, or that's hard to fight as. So I think that kind of balances him out. Devil Jin, I mean, he's cool. I think I'll be good without this character in Tekken 8. I'm good with just Jin and Kazuya being the Mishima based characters or whatever. Yeah, I don't have nothing against him. He's cool, but I feel like, I could do without him. Claudio, I would say this is probably, him and Leroy are probably the most iconic Tekken 8 characters, like the most memorable in my opinion. I feel like he's probably the most unique game plan wise. Everybody else is just so basic and dull. I think Claudio has the most things interesting about him. I mean, still nothing compared to like a Steve, Harong, Xiao Yu, or Jin. Nothing like that as far as uniqueness. But I think he has the most potential, and I think they could really do some interesting things with him in Tekken 8. Gigas was a commercial failure. I don't like this. What is there to like about this character? Probably the second most forgettable character after Shaheen. Asuka, she's okay. I'm not super impressed with her game plan. I find it to be kind of boring, but I mean it's somewhat interesting. She's one of the more simplistic defensive characters. So I mean I think when I say boring game plan, I just mean it's very simple and not too hard to do. I mean nothing compared to like a Tekken 7 original character, but kind of, I wish they would do a little bit more with her. But I mean she's okay. I mean she's not. I don't object to her much. I think she does belong in Tekken, and I like seeing her in the game. I do like her. Alyssa, I would say is my second favorite Tekken 6 character. I think she brings a lot to the table. I think she's really interesting with all the chainsaws and all the flying and the flashiness, which this is probably the only example of flashiness and just all over the place character that I like. Because maybe because she doesn't do all the teleportation and that kind of flash, it's just all the moving around the screen. But I got quite good with fighting against Alyssa. I got quite good in fighting against Alyssa. She's kind of fun to fight against. I mean, she is quite strong. I think they could nerf something about her. I don't know. I can't put my finger on what, but I don't object to her much. I feel like she's somewhat balanced in the game. Leo, I would say, is the third most forgettable character in the game. Is this who they took Julia out initially for? Was Leo supposed to replace Julia at first or something? Because what the hell? This character has no kind of personality. Almost doesn't seem like they belong in Tekken. I would say Leo, he kind of gives me more like a Final Fantasy type character or something like that. He seems like he'll fit in better in that game or something. I don't know. I don't think he just like if all the Tekken characters were like in school and they all were like at the lunch table, Leo would be sitting by himself. Fang seems more like a Virtua Fighter character. I'm not a big fan of him. I feel like he's way too strong, way too overpowered, and way too easy to use. And I really dislike that. I'm not going to say, I mean, he's far from being my least favorite character. I don't think he necessarily needs to get axed from the game. But if he did, I wouldn't be sad. And last but not least, Eddie. So you already know, iconic character, unique. Love how they incorporate capoeira. I would say Eddie has some of the most beautiful animations in the game. And as far as animations in the game, I think Eddie, Lei, what's the other one? Who's the other one? Where's someone else? Oh, Miguel, Jen, Law. I would say, and King. I would say they probably have the most beautiful animations, but I would say Eddie, Lei, and Miguel in particular really knock it out the park as far as just how everything looks. It looks so fluid and just everything flows, and it's just really nice to watch. So yeah, I like Eddie. Iconic. I love his fighting style. I like his game design. Looks really cool, really sharp, and yeah. Definitely one of the better Tekken 3 character designs. So yeah, so that's my thoughts on every single Tekken character. I can't believe I made it this far, this quick. What time is it right now? How much? this might be a 30-minute video. I don't know how long this took me, but yeah. So those are my thoughts on every single Tekken 7 character. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are there any other type of videos like this that you may want me to do? Leave it in the comments section. And yeah, so I'll see you guys next time.